Good afternoon. This is Kent Blaylock with SDG Replays. And I'm coming to you this afternoon in my continued play of my 8-team, 28-season Pocket Pennant Run season. So it's my Pocket Pennant Run League, 8 teams, 28 games. 2 games have already been played in this season. The only team with a 2-0 record is the 1975 Red Sox. Most of the other teams are 1-1. The only team that is 0-2 is the 72 Oakland Athletics that lost that 2-game set to the Red Sox. So we're going to go into another game. This will be game 3 of this 28-game season. It's going to be between the 1934 St. Louis Cardinals and the 1956 Brooklyn Dodgers. Pitching for the Cardinals will be the right-hander Paul Dean. He can go 6 innings. He's an A pitcher with A control and D defense. The advantage is definitely going to be for the Cardinals with an A pitcher, because going to the mound for the Brooklyn Dodgers is going to be Carl Erskine. He's a right-hander that can go 6 innings, but he is a C pitcher, but he does have B control, which is a little better, and he's C on his defense. So we're going to go into this matchup between the 34 Cardinals and the 56 Brooklyn Dodgers, and let's see how the ball flies and how the dice roll. I hope you enjoy this game from this 8-team league and 28-game season. Again, I've said before, my purpose is at the end of the 28 games is to get an idea of what the stats are going to, how the stats are going to fall playing Pocket Pennant Run, because it's a relatively new game. We are going to, I will give updates on where the stats lie after 7 games. So every quarter of this season, I'm going to be giving updates at 7, 14, 21, and of course when we conclude at 28 games. I hope you enjoy today's game. Do me a favor, if you do come along and you're watching this, hit that like button, hit the subscribe bell, and the notification bell as well, and come join me as we play some Pocket Pennant Run. Thank you. And this is Kent Blaylock, and we are going to get into this game this afternoon between the 1956 Brooklyn Dodgers and the 34 St. Louis Cardinals. Leading off for the Brooklyn Dodgers will be Jim Gillum. Gillum is a batter. He's a switch hitter, so he'll main an A. Paul Dean, pitching, is an A pitcher with A control. He can go 6 innings. So let's get into this game. Let's get her going. Here's the pitch as Dean goes into the windup. It will go to the batter's card. Gillum, that A10 is his power card, and Gillum, leadoff home run. He blasted into the right field seats as it clears Rothrock's head. As he watches it sail over his head into the seats, Jim Gillum, leadoff home run off of Paul Dean for a 1-0 56 Dodgers lead. As Dean throws down the rosin bag in disgust, he steps back to the rubber, toes the rubber as Pee Wee Reese comes to the plate. Reese will be a D hitter against the right-handed Dean. Here's the pitch to Reese. Again, it will go to the batter card. Reese hits it sharply to second. Frisch up with it. Frankie Frisch up with it over to Rip Collins for the 4-3 put out, and out number 1. That'll bring up Duke Snider. Snider will be a B hitter against the righty Dean. Here's Snyder stepping in, and he strikes him out. First strikeout for Dean as he strikes out Duke Snyder for out number 2. As Roy Campy comes to the plate. He will be batting from the D column. He has C power and C speed. Here's the pitch to Campanella. And he strikes him out. He strikes out 2 to close out this inning, but not after allowing a lead-off home run by Jim Gillum as we go to the bottom of the first with the score 1-0, Brooklyn. Pitching for the Brooklyn Dodgers is Carl Erskine. Erskine can go 6 innings and is a C pitcher with B control. Stepping to the plate for the Cardinals is Kiddo Davis. Davis will be hitting from the D column. Here's the pitch to Davis. Now, if he were an A or B pitcher, that would have been a strikeout, but that will be a control check on Erskine as he's pitching from the C column. He does have B control, that B8, and he issues a walk to Davis, who takes the free stroll down to first base. So we have a runner on. Davis does not have good speed. He will not be attempting to steal as Frankie Frisch steps to the plate. The switch hitting Frisch bats from the B column with B power and A speed. Here's the pitch to Frisch. C5 will be a go to the batter. That B7 is a ground ball that's hit slowly to Hodges at first. He can make the play, but the only play he has is to toss it to Erskine, covering the bag for the 3-1 putout, which moves Davis over to second with 1 out, runner in scoring position. Pepper Martin comes to the plate. Pepper Martin will be batting from the C column. He's a regularly B batter with B power and A speed, but batting from the C against the righty. Here's the pitch. And he gets to swing away. He grounds it sharply to third. It ranges Robinson back, but Reese, covering the bag at third, gets Davis, who's trying to beat out the throw. So it's going to be a fielder's choice. Ground out. So they get the lead runner, Kiddo Davis, as he tries to get to third. And whoops, I had to correct something there. It's a ground out. Safe at first. Runner's out at third. Get this right now. There we go. Now we got it right. 2 outs. Runner on first as Jack Rothrock steps to the plate. The switch hitting Rothrock will be batting from the B column with B power. Here's this pitch to Rothrock. Rothrock swings away, grounds it sharply to Reese at second. Reese up with it, tosses it over to Gillum to get the force out at second on the 6-4 putout. And out number 3, and we go to the second with a score: Brooklyn 1, St. Louis 0. And Gil Hodges stepping to the plate. Hodges will be batting from the C column. As Dean goes into those windup, Hodges steps in. It's going to be a control check on Dean, and he strikes him out as he gets him looking as he buzzes one by Hodges for the strikeout. And that'll bring up Jackie Robinson. Robinson will be batting from the C column. He's normally a B in that column with C power and A speed. Righty drops him to a C. Here's the pitch. Control track, and he strikes him out. He gets Robinson looking, and Dean, after that leadoff home run, has really been mowing them down ever since. As Sandy Almiros steps to the plate, Almiros batting from the left side will be in the B column, batting with A power and B speed. Here's the pitch to Almiros, and Almiros, he gets a fat offering as it's offered up. And Almiros, who's in that B batter column, that roll of 11 is his power column, and that roll of 11 in the power column for Almiros, who is an A. That's another home run given up by Paul Dean as Sandy Almiros again takes it over Rothrock's head in right field and parks it in the seats, in the cheap seats. Home run number 2 for the Brooklyn Dodgers, as Paul Dean says, I either strike them out or I offer up home runs. Can it not be one or the other? As Carl Furillo steps to the plate, Furillo, batting from the right side, will be dropping to a C from his B rating with B power and C speed. Here's the pitch from Dean, who's disgusted with that last offering. Furillo swings away, grounds it sharply to second. Frisch up with it over to Collins for the 4-3 putout and out number 3, but not after a second home run given up by Dean. And we have a 2-0 game here in St. Louis as we go to the bottom of the second. And coming to the plate will be Joe Medwick. Medwick will be batting from the B column, normally an A, but against Erskine, he will be a B, and he has A power and C speed. Here's the pitch from Medwick to Medwick from Erskine. Erskine, that'll be a control check on Erskine. B control, and he strikes him out. He gets Medwick swinging as Medwick gets switched up on the off-speed pitch as Ripper Collins comes to the plate. Collins is a batter with A power and C speed. Here's the pitch to Collins, and Collins will get to hit away, and he hits a 1-out single, just buzzes it by Gillum at second into the outfield. Snyder fields it, tosses it in, but not after Collins finds himself on first base. And Collins will take a short lead as Spud Davis steps in. Davis will be batting from the C column with A power and D speed. Here's the pitch to Davis. Spud. Erskine. This will be a defensive check on the shortstop, Reese. Reese's defense is a C. That's C defensive rating. It will be a ground ball to Reese. Slow roller that the only play he has is to first, as Ripper Collins made a good break for second. So the 6-3 putout will move Collins over to second. And Leo DeRocher stepping to the plate with a runner in scoring position. DeRocher will be hitting from the D column. He is normally rated a C with C power and C speed. Erskine into his windup. Here is the pitch. And DeRocher gets to swing away. He hits a ground ball sharply to Reese at short. Reese up with it, over to first for the 6-3 put out. And out number 3. And we go to the third with the Brooklyn Dodgers leading 2-0 on 2 home runs given up by Paul Dean. Paul Dean is, as we pull up his, just the game so far, he's pitched 2 innings. He's allowed 2 hits, both of them home runs, but he's struck out 4. So it's been either strikeouts or home runs almost for Dean. Not a good ratio that you want to have. A 2-to-4 ratio, if half of your hits are home runs, that's not a good combination. As Carl Erskine comes to the plate, the D hitting Erskine against Dean. Here's the pitch to Erskine. He will get to hit. This is a fly ball into left field. Joe Medwick settles underneath it. Slaps his glove. Can of corn for the F7 put out. That brings back Jim Gillum, who homered his first time up, led off the game with a home run. And he steps in once again as Dean stares down Gillum, remembering his last offering. This time he brings the pitch. This time it'll be a defensive check as it's hit sharply back at Dean. Dean, who has D defense, that D6, he will still make the play on that low roll of 6. So Dean fields it, tosses it over to Ripper Collins at first for the 1-3 put out. And out number 2, as Pee Wee Reese steps to the plate. Reese hitting from the D column, his first time up. He grounded to second. Here's the pitch to Reese. Deep fly ball into right field. Jack Rothrock back to the warning track. And a long out for out number 3 on the F9 put out. 3 up, 3 down as we go to the bottom of the third. Brooklyn 2, St. Louis nothing. As Paul Dean steps to the plate. D hitting Dean. Here's the pitch from Erskine. He will get to hit away. And Dean comes through. He swings the bat and slaps it into right field. Opposite field for a leadoff single by the pitcher Dean. That'll bring Kiddo Davis back to the plate. Davis again hitting from the D column. Here's the pitch. And he's hit one sharply to first. Line drive to first. Hodges grabs it, catches Dean off the bag, and tags the pitcher for a double play. The L3 double play. That in detail. Line drive to the first baseman. That's a quick double play that changes the complexion of this inning quickly, as there's no base runners on now with 2 outs, as Frankie Frisch steps to the plate, batting from the B column. Here's the pitch to Frisch. And Frisch gets a fat one to swing at. Frisch lifts it deep into left field. Amorose back to the warning track as it seems to just hang in air, but Amorose easily under it for the F7 put out. And out number 3. And we go to the 4th with Brooklyn still up 2-0, and Duke Snider stepping to the plate. Snider, his first time up, went down swinging as he was a victim of the Dean fastball, as Duke Snider steps to the plate. Here is the pitch. And Snider goes down again, swinging, struck him out. Strikeout number 2 of Duke Snider. That'll bring up Roy Campanella. Campanella digs in as Dean brings the heat. The control check, and that will be another strikeout for Paul Dean as he strikes out Roy Campanella. That's strikeout number 6 for Paul Dean, who trails this in this game 2-0. That brings up Gil Hodges. Hodges batting from the C column as Dean goes into his windup, wanting to mow down another Brooklyn Dodger. Here's the pitch. This time, no such luck as Hodges gets to swing away. The C hitting Hodges. That will go to his power column. Hodges does have a power, that A8 in the power column. Is another home run given up by Paul Dean. It seems like it's either all or nothing as he gives up another home run pitch as Gil Hodges parks one, this time in the left field seats as Joe Medwick watches it go over his head for a 3-0 Brooklyn Dodger lead. And all these hits have been home runs, so it's either strike them out or it'll give up home runs for Paul Dean as Jackie Robinson steps to the plate as he high-fives Gil Hodges as he crosses the plate for run number 3 for the Dodgers. Robinson steps in. He said, offer me up one of those meatballs. Here we go. Control check. That A8 in the control column is a strikeout, another strikeout as Robinson goes down swinging for out number 3, but not after another home run was given up by Paul Dean. It was 3-0 Brooklyn as we go into the bottom of the 4th here in St. Louis, Sportsman's Field. As Pepper Martin steps to the plate. Martin, third baseman, his first time up. Grounded out to third. Martin batting from the C column. Here's the pitch to Martin. He gets to swing away. And that's a leadoff single by Martin as it finds its way into shallow left field. Bounces right in front of Amorose for a leadoff single from Pepper Martin. Pepper Martin with a speed. As Erskine goes into his windup, Pepper Martin breaks for second. And he is safe. As he slides under the tag of Jim Gillum for a stolen base. So he puts himself in scoring position with no outs. And Jack Rothrock stepping to the plate. Rothrock batting from the B column. Here's the pitch to Rothrock. That's a control check on Erskine. That is a drop K, Rothrock, who runs it. And A, can he beat this out? Here is, and he does not. So that'll just be a registered strike for Erskine as Joe Medwick steps to the plate. So with runner at second, one out, Joe Medwick steps to the plate, batting from the B column. Here's the pitch to Medwick. He will get to swing away. That B8 will be a single that'll move Martin over to third. So with one out, we have runners on the corners now, and the Cardinals have got something going here in the bottom of the fourth, trailing 3-0. And Ripper Collins coming to the plate, hitting from the A column, the switch hitter with A power. He could tie it up with one swing of the bat as Erskine brings the pitch. And it will go to Collins' card. That looks like bad news. That A11 is his power column. He does have A power, and we know A9 is home run. We've seen home runs flying out of this ballpark as Ripper Collins puts one over Duke Snyder's head in right center field. And all of a sudden, this game went from 3-0 to 3-all with that 3-run shot by Ripper Collins. And we're tied 3-3 here in St. Louis with 4 home runs already in this game. 3 by the Brooklyn Dodgers. But now we just had a 3-run shot by Ripper Collins to tie us up. That brings Spud Davis to the plate. Davis batting from the C column as Erskine is shaking his head in disgust. Goes to the plate, toes the rubber, and here we go. This time to Spud Davis batting from the C column. That C10 is a hard single lined into right center field that is fielded by Ferrillo. Tosses it back in, but not before Davis is safely on first. That'll bring Leo DeRocher to the plate. The D hitting DeRocher as Davis takes a short lead. Here's the pitch to DeRocher. Be a control check. And he walks him. So 4 balls to DeRocher, and DeRocher takes a stroll down to first, and we got runners on first and second with 1 out, and our score tied. And Paul Dean coming to the plate. So Paul Dean, as Erskine goes into the windup, Dean squares to bunt. Here's the pitch. And he lays down a bunt. Nice bunt between the catcher and first base. Erskine ranges over to it, is able to make the play, but it will advance the runners as it was a good bunt laid down by Paul Dean. So with 2 outs, runners on second and third for Kiddo Davis with a tie game, 3-3. Davis batting from the D column. Here's the pitch to Davis. He will get to hit, but he lifts a lazy fly ball into left field. Short fly ball. Amoros has to get on his bicycle to get to it, but does easily for the F7 put out. And out number 3, but not after we come to the top of the fifth with our score tied now after that 3-run shot by Ripper Collins in the bottom of the fourth. We go to the top of the fifth tied 3-3 as Sandy Almiros steps to the plate. And what has Almiros done for the day? He just simply hit a home run his last time up. So Dean bearing down, remembering that last pitch to Almiros, goes into his windup. Almiros digs in. Here's the pitch. And Almiros gets another fat ball to hit, but this time a little over anxious. Gets a little too much underneath the ball and lifts it into left field. Back to the warning track. Medwick tracks it down for the F7 put out. And out number 1, but not after Almiros gave it a ride. Now to bring up Carl Furillo. Furillo hitting from the B column. Here's the pitch to Furillo. Furillo, he gets one to hit. Excuse me, he's hitting from, did I say B? He's hitting from the C column. That C11, though, will be his power column. Furillo is a B. B9 power is another home run given up by Paul Dean. The Dodgers are just launching the ball. It's been a launching pad for them all evening long. Another home run as Furillo parks that one into the left field seats. For home run number 4 for the Brooklyn Dodgers. 4 hits, 4 home runs for the Brooklyn Dodgers as Carl Erskine steps to the plate. Here's the pitch to Erskine, the D hitting Erskine. Hits it sharply to third. Pepper Martin up with it over to first. And they get Erskine by 2 steps for the 5-3 put out. And out number 2. That brings Jim Gillum back to the plate. The home run hitting Gillum. As he steps in, Dean bears down. Here's the pitch. And the A hitting Gillum has got another base hit as he laces a single right over Ripper Collins' head in front of Rothrock for a 2-out single. And Gillum is on first, and Gillum, as Dean goes into the wind-up, breaks for second, and he slides in safely. Davis doesn't even bother to throw as he broke so quickly on that stolen base. But he put himself into scoring position as Pee Wee Reese steps to the plate and digs in. D column hitting Reese. Here is the pitch. It's going to be a defensive check on the center fielder, Davis. Davis is a C defender. That C10 will be a fly ball easily played by Davis as he ranges over toward Rothrock, waves him off for the F8 put out. And out number 3, but not out after another home run given up by Paul Dean. And we go to the bottom of the 5th with the Dodgers up 4-3. Have 5 hits and 4 home runs by the Dodgers. Amazing. That's a pretty good percentage there of hits to home runs. As Frankie Frisch steps up for the Cardinals. Frisch batting from the B column. Here is the pitch. That's a fly ball lifted into left field. Sandy Almiros with a can of corn, making creamed corn for the F7 put out. That'll bring Pepper Martin to the plate. Martin batting from the C column. His first time up. He grounded to third and then singled his last time up. So he's 1 for 2 on the day. So here's the pitch to Pepper. Pepper gets one to hit. It is in his power column. Pepper Martin's power is a B. That B6 is going to be a 1-out double by Pepper Martin, who puts it in the alley between Omeros and Snyder in left center. It bounces around on the wall out there, but Snyder quickly up with it, gets it in, and holds Snyder to a 1-out double. Martin to a 1-out double. And Martin looking to go on contact. But as Erskine goes into the windup, Martin breaks for third, trying to steal third, and he does. He slides in safely as Robinson applies the tag, but too late as Pepper Martin has stole third base and put himself 90 feet from a tie game as Rothrock steps to the plate, batting from the B column. Here's the pitch to Rothrock. And Rothrock gets to swing away. The B hitting Rothrock, that B8 is a single by Rothrock. Will score Martin. So we're tied up again, 4-4 here in St. Louis as Rothrock comes through. And Joe Medwick striding to the plate. Medwick batting from the B column. Again, Erskine. Slow delivery allows Rothrock to break for second. And he slides in safely. Another stolen base for the Cardinals. Another runner in scoring position as Joe Medwick digs in, batting from the B column. Here's the pitch to Medwick. And he grounds it sharply to Reese at short. Rothrock breaking for third. Robinson over to apply the tag. And they get Rothrock as he slides in, but Robinson with the quick hands tags out Rothrock for out number 2. Record this. So they got the lead runner to try to hold this thing tied as Medwick is safely on first, but not after they got the lead runner at third. As Ripper Collins comes back to the plate, hit a 3-run shot his last time up. Can he repeat that as Erskine goes into the windup? And he gets one to hit. Ripper Collins, the A hitting Collins, hits another single. He has another hit, moves Medwick over to second. So hits are starting to come now in this game as we got runners on first and second, 2 outs. Our score tied 4-4, and Spud Davis coming to the plate. Davis in the C column. Here's the pitch. And it's another fat one served up by Erskine. Davis has A power, and folks, we see another one go sailing out of the ballpark as Davis sits one into left center field into the seat. Another home run given up in this game as the ball is flying out of Sportsman Field. Home run, Spud Davis. And all of a sudden, we have a 7-4 Cardinals lead here in the bottom of the 5th with 10 hits by the Cardinals. And Erskine now drops to a D rating, and he's coming out. I have a rule: if it gets to D, the pitcher comes out. It was already a C, but with that home run, he drops to a D. So Carl Erskine's day is over. He got his world rocked. Let's see, who do I want to bring in? We got basically nothing but righties and a couple switch hitters. So we're going to go with a right-handed pitcher. I need to go with a righty that can go 2 innings at least. Let's bring in Don Drysdale. Drysdale comes in. Drysdale, pitching from the right side, can go 2 innings. He has A power A pitching and B control. Drysdale looking at DeRocher. DeRocher digging in. Batting from the D column is DeRocher. Drysdale into his windup. Here's the pitch. It will be a control check on Drysdale. Drysdale again has B control. That B5 is a strikeout as DeRocher goes down swinging, and that will close out the 5th, but not after 4 runs are plated for the Cardinals, and they go up 7-4 as we go to the 6th, with Brooklyn now trailing 7-4. And Paul Dean still on the mound. And again, Dean does not fatigue until the 7th inning or until the 5th run comes across. So Dean facing Snyder. Snyder in the B column. Here's the pitch to Snyder. And he strikes him out. Snyder goes down swinging with that high heat. Blew it right by him as Roy Campanella now steps to the plate. Campanella digging in, batting from the D column. Here's the pitch. And that's a ground ball to short. Leo DeRocher up with it quickly over to first for the 6-3 put out. And out number 2. And Gil Hodges stepping to the plate. And what did Hodges do his last time up? Oh, that's right. He hit a home run. He's one for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a home run. Hodges stepping in. Here's the pitch from Dean. And Dean strikes him out. He goes down swinging. That's 3 up, 3 down in the 6th. And Paul Dean coming to the plate to lead off the bottom of the 6th. Do I want to keep him in or do I want to pull him? What do my relief pitchers look like? Not that good, really. We're going to keep him in. He'll drop to a B, but all my relief pitchers are B anyhow. Maybe keep him in another inning as they have a 3-run lead. Dean digs in. Drysdale with the pitch. He strikes him out. Dean goes down looking as he didn't even get the bat off his shoulder for out number 1. And that brings Kiddo Davis to the plate. The D hitting Davis. Davis on the day did take a leadoff walk, but he's been hitless since. Here's the pitch to Davis. What was Drysdale's control again? It'd help if I'd look at the right card. He's got B control. That B8 and his control is he walks him. He walks Davis. Davis gets the free pass, trots down to first base. as Frankie Frisch steps in, batting from the B column. Here's the pitch from Drysdale. Frisch lifts it into left field. Amorose ranging in as it's hit shallow left center. Too close to second base for Davis to even attempt to do anything for the F7 put out. And out number 2. And that brings Pepper Martin back to the plate. Martin on the day is 2 for 3 with a single and a double. So swinging the bat pretty well. As Martin steps in, Davis takes a slight lead. He'll be running on contact. Here's the pitch to Martin. It's going to be a defensive check on the second baseman, Gillum. Gillum's defensive rating is a B. He will make the play. He scoops it up as he's ranged toward the second base bag. Reese comes over. He tosses to Reese for the 4-6 put out. And out number 3. And we go to the 7th with St. Louis leading 7-4. And Paul Dean now drops to a B rating as Jackie Robinson steps to the plate. Robinson batting from the C column. Here's the pitch to Robinson. It's going to be a defensive check on the right fielder, Rothrock. Rothrock, whose defensive rating is a B, ranges over toward the right field line, waves off Frisch, who's trying to get back to it himself, and makes the play for the F9 put out. And out number 1. That brings up Sandy Amorose, who's homered on the day, batting from the B column. Amorose, as Dean goes into the windup, Amorose digs in. Here is the pitch. And it'll be a control check. He walks Amorose. He didn't want to give him another meatball to hit, so he walks Amorose. Amorose trots down to first. Takes a slight lead as Carl Furillo steps into the plate. Batting from the C column, Dean goes into his windup. Here is the pitch. It will go to the batter's card. Furillo, again, hitting from the C column. That's C11. That will go to his power column. Furillo, B power. And we know what that B11 means. It's another home run given up by Paul Dean, the 5th for the Dodgers in this game. And all of a sudden, this game is a one-run game. It's a 7-6 game as the ball has been going out of the ballpark left and right. Amazing. 5 home runs by the Dodgers as Don Drysdale steps up, and he's going to come out. We'll get another batter in here. See if we can get a lefty in here to hit. Who's a good left-handed hitter to come in for the Dodgers? And I really don't have anybody that's worth a hoot. Well, I'm looking at pitchers. That's still pretty accurate. I think Mitchell is probably my best bet. He's a C hitter. So Mitchell's going to come in. The rest are, my lefties are D's. So in he comes. Mitchell batting from the C column. Here's the pitch from Dean. And he will get to hit away. Mitchell Hits it sharply to short. DeRocher up with it. Over to first for the 6-3 put out. And out number 2. And Dean now is officially hitting from the C column after going into the 7th and giving up that 2-run shot. He's pitching from the C column as Gillum comes to the plate, batting from the A column. Here's the pitch. And it will be a control check on Dean. And he strikes him out, but the ball is dropped by Davis. Gillum trucking down the line, has good speed. Here is the throw to first. And he is safe. So it's going to be an E2. Hold on, let me recheck that. Let me make sure. No, he is out. The high numbers are safe. He is out easily as Davis just fires it down to first for out number 3. And we go to the bottom of the 7th with a 7-6 ball game here in St. Louis with home runs flying out of the ballpark as Jack Rothrock steps up. I need a new pitcher. And I'll try to bring in another righty. Let's bring in Don Bissett. Bissett can go 2 innings. He's an A pitcher with B control and D defense. As Jack Rock steps in, he'll be hitting from the B column. Here's the pitch. And he will get to hit away, but he just grounds it sharply to third. Jackie Robinson up with it. Fires it over to Hodges at first for the 5-3 put out. And out number 1. And that'll bring up Joe Medwick. Medwick on the day is 1 for 3 with a single. So Medwick steps in. Batting from the B column. Here's the pitch to Medwick. He will get to swing away, but he lifts it into right field. Furillo back to the warning track. Taps his glove. Squeezes it for out number 2 here in the bottom of the 7th with St. Louis leading 7-6. Ripper Collins coming to the plate. Ripper Collins with that home run that got things going for the Cardinals back in the 4th, that 3-run shot. Here's the pitch to Collins. Batting from the A column. Here is the pitch. It'll be a control check. Again, Bissent's B control. That B9 is not good news. That is a walk. As he walks, Ripper Collins gives Collins a free pass as he strolls down to first base. And that'll bring up Spud Davis, hitting from the C column. Here's the pitch from Bissent. That's a defensive check on the pitcher. That roll of 1 is a guarantee that Bissent made a great play as it short hopped him at the mound, but he fields it, tosses it easily over to Hodges at first for the 1-3 put out. And we go to the 8th with our score 7-6. St. Louis in this home run derby of a game as we go. And Paul Dean now drops to a D, and he's going to be coming out. And I think we'll be bringing in some righties. A right-hander for Dean. And who would be the best? Looks like my best right-hander will be Dazzy Vance. As Vance comes in, he is a B pitcher with A control and A defense. And he can go 2 innings, so he can close this game out. Pee Wee Reese steps in, batting from the D column, I do believe. Yes. And here is the pitch. And that will be a control check. But that A control, he will strike him out as Reese goes down with the K. And Vance comes in, bringing the heat, as Duke Snyder now steps to the plate, batting from the B column. Here's the pitch from Vance. That's going to be a defensive check on the center fielder, Kiddo Davis. Davis is a C fielder. That's C6. He will range over toward Rothrock, wave him off, and make the play for the F8 put out and out. Number 2. Which brings Roy Campanella to the plate. And what has Roy done today? What has Campy done? He's just gone hitless. He's struck out twice and grounded to short. So he's due, you would think, as Campanella steps in, batting from the D column. Here is the pitch. And this time he does get to hit, and it will go to his power column. That's C4 in the power column. I imagine it is going to be a double, but let me... No, unfortunately, he lifts it high and deep, but not deep enough. It's just a long fly ball into right field, and Rothrock plays it for the F9 put out. And out number 3, as Campanella gave it a ride, but it didn't travel far enough for out number 3. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. 7-6, St. Louis. And Leo DeRocher stepping to the plate, batting from the D column. Here's the pitch to DeRocher. DeRocher hits it sharply to second. Gillum up with it. Tosses over to Hodges for out number 1. Dazzy Vance coming up. He's going to stay in the game. Vance is just going to swing away and see if he can close out the top of the 9th. Here's the pitch to Vance. That's a defensive check on the center fielder, Snyder. Snyder fields a lazy fly ball as it's not hit well by Vance. So Vance is down on the F8 putout. So 2 up, 2 down as Kiddo Davis comes to the plate. And Davis looking to swing away, batting from the D column. Here's the pitch to Davis. Control check, and he strikes him out. Let me make sure of that real quick. I want to check Vicent's control rating. I forgot what it was. Yeah, he's a B. That's a strikeout. Struck him out. Yep, easily struck him out. As Kiddo Davis went down swinging for 3 up and 3 down. And we go to the top of the 9th with the visiting Dodgers trailing by 1, 7-6 here in St. Louis Sportsman's Field. As Gil Hodges strides to the plate. Hodges will be batting from the C column. Here's the pitch to Hodge. Dazzy Vance. That'll be control check. And he walks Hodges. Hodges gets a free pass. And Vance has just put on the tying run as Hodges trots down. And Jackie Robinson stepping up to the plate. Robinson batting from the C column. Hodges takes a slight lead. Here is the pitch. There's a defensive check on the third baseman, Martin is a D fielder, so he is not good. And that is at E5, and we've now got the tying and winning runs on as Martin booted it. Excuse me. And things are getting interesting here in the ninth as Vance looks over at Martin and just shakes his head. Sandy Amoros strides to the plate, batting from the B column with a power. Here's the pitch to Amoros. And that's going to be a control check, and he'll walk him. He's walked. The bases loaded. Dazzy Vance is falling apart. The bases are loaded. Tying run on third, and Carl Furillo stepping to the plate, hitting from the C column. Vance taking a deep breath, shakes a couple signs off from Spud Davis, shakes his head yes. Here's the pitch. This time it's a defensive check of the center fielder. The center fielder, Kiddo Davis. That's C4. We might have a tie game here. Yeah, he will tag up. So Hodges' speed is a B. He's tagging up. Throw coming from Kiddo Davis. What is Hodges' speed? It is a B, so he's got decent speed. So here is the throw from Kiddo Davis. And he is out. He guns him out at home plate. Oh my goodness. As Hodges tried to score on the tag up. But that roll of one, Davis threw one on a rope to Spud Davis. Kiddo to Spud. As was an F8 put out. But the center fielder my goodness. So all of a sudden, with that great throw from Davis, we got runners in scoring position, but only one out left, and Don Vicent coming to the plate. There will be a pinch hitter coming in for Vicent, who will come in for Brooklyn as they trail by one with runners in scoring position. What a great play by Kiddo Davis, gunning out. Man, my goodness, gunning them down. So I need a lefty to come in who can hit. Don't have a whole lot of good choices. I guess I'll bring in Rube Walker. He's a D hitter, but none of my lefties hit well, but he does have power of a B, so my batters are not the best. Nope. Rube Walker, is he going to be a hero or is he going to be a goat? As Dazzy Vance gave the nod to Kiddo Davis out in center field, got him out of this jam. All he has to do is get Walker. Walker hitting from the D column. Here is the pitch. And he will get to hit, but he just hits a lazy, well, not lazy, it's a line drive right at Ripper Collins, but Ripper Collins, the good Philin Collins, is an A defender. On the ball, snags it out of the air for the L3 put out. And folks, that is our game. What an exciting game this was. Man, the ball is flying out of the ballpark. Paul Dean taking the win. Carl Erskine taking the loss. Paul Dean taking the win, but I don't know if it's one he can hold his head high too much. He allowed 5 home runs. What a game. What a game of hitting. Let's take a look at the box score. Let me change your scene a little bit for you. Here we go. Here we go. Let's look at that box score. I particularly want to look at the home run column because it is long and deep for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Home run by Jim Gillum in the first. Sandy Amoros in the second, Gil Hodges in the fourth, Furillo in the fifth, and Carl Furillo hit 2 home runs, one in the fifth and one in the seventh. So what a game for Furillo and a loss. Furillo was 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. My goodness. But the game goes to the St. Louis Cardinals thanks to that 3-run shot by Ripper Collins in the fourth. And that is our game, folks. I hope you enjoy it. I'll close this out, exit out to the main screen where you can see the games, the other games I'm going to be playing this week. It's going to be the 79 Pittsburgh Pirates against the 69 Mets. 72 A's against the 56 Yankees, and the 23 Hilldale team against the 75 Boston Red Sox. You can see that all these teams are 1-1 except Boston and Oakland. Boston is at 2-0 because they swept Oakland in the opening 2 games of the season. So currently Boston is leading the league. So that is our game. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope if you come by and listen to this that you'll take the time to hit the like button, ring that bell to subscribe, and hit that notification. Thank you and have a blessed day.